Chapli kebab that hits the spot. Now, this is definitely one of the harder things to make, but I promise it's worth it. I'll tell you what not to do so that your kebabs come out perfect. I'm making a large amount here, but in the caption, I'll give measurements for 1 kg of meat. So first, I chop my tomatoes, my green chilies, and some cilantro. Now, where things usually go wrong with a kebab is the onions. So if you put too much onion or if you don't get all of the water out of the onion that you add to the kebab, your kebabs can break while you fry them. So what I do is I quarter the onions and I put them in the food processor, and then I make a smooth paste out of them. And then I drain all of the water out of the onion until it's completely dry. So I just put a colander over a bowl and then I pour the onion paste into it. Then use a spoon or a spatula to completely smush the onion down into the colander so that all the water drains out of it. And you'll see how much volume loss there is from the onion when you do this. That's what you want. And just look at how much water came out of this. That's what you want to see. So now we can prepare our minced meat mixture. So I'm using ground beef 80-20. That's the amount of fat you need, is 20%. And then I'm adding ginger paste and garlic paste. And then I'm also adding beaten egg. That acts as a binder for the kebab so that they don't break when you fry them. But if you add too much egg, they become way too slippery. So you want to add just the right amount, which I'll define in the caption. And then we're adding our Shan Masala Chapli kebab mix. And again, I'm making a really large amount here. This is actually 10 pounds of ground beef. Then we can add everything that we chopped earlier and also our dehydrated onion. Now I'm going to put a glove on to mix this. 1, because I have long nails, and 2, because if you have sensitive skin, like I have eczema prone skin, the masala can actually burn your hands. One time I did this and my hands burned so bad because I didn't wear gloves that I had to soak my hands in milk. So don't make that mistake. Wear gloves. And then you want to mix this really, really well. Like you need to mix the heck out of this to get it to a sticky consistency. And that's how they're not going to break as well, is if you really, really mix it well. So just keep mixing and mixing and mixing until it becomes sticky. And this is what you want it to look like. And then we're going to add some corn flour. This adds a really nice flavor to the kebab. So you don't want to skip this, and then incorporate this really, really well. So right here, I'm showing you what it should look like. It should be this amount of sticky. That's what you want to see. And then that's when you know it's ready, when it kind of starts to stick like that to your hand. Now, this is just some fun behind the scenes footage here. I was testing whether it tastes better to fry it in oil or ghee. So I made these cute little mini adorable chapli kebabs, and I fried one in oil and one in ghee. And the vegetable oil is a lighter flavor. It's not as heavy. The ghee is more of that rich taste. So it's really to your preference, but I ended up using the vegetable oil. I think traditionally they fry it in beef fat though, which I'm not going to do at home. So this is the difficult part, which is frying them. It's a shallow fry, so we put just enough oil in the pan to cover one side of the kebab. And then you take a handful of the meat mixture and then you flatten it in your hand as flat as you like. I like them a little bit on the flatter side. And then the tomato is just decoration. I do it for some of them just for the presentation, but I don't do it for all of them. So the second one here, you can see I didn't do it. And the max you can put in a pan this size is 2. You don't want to overcrowd it or they won't cook evenly. And then you just want to watch for the edges starting to turn brown. That's when you know you need to flip it. And it should be like a golden crispy on the outside and then soft on the inside. And if you're concerned about the middle cooking through, you can use a thermometer to check the center before you take it out. The most important thing as you fry them is regulating the temperature of your oil. So you can start on high, but then reduce the oil as you notice that the kebabs are frying faster and faster because it's getting hotter and hotter, and then they might start to burn. So I reduce it to medium low after the first couple kebabs cook. And then see that brown, that's exactly the color that you want. And then I use a helper spatula because I'm not a professional. I don't pretend I can flip it with one spatula. The oil splatters a lot, so it's a good idea to do that. And then I'm just putting some of the oil like on the top, just scooping it on top, just to get them to cook a little bit faster. Now for the ones that have the tomato, don't be disheartened if they fall off when you're frying them. It happens a lot. So that's why I don't do it for all of them. It's really more of a hassle than it's worth. And then they're ready when they look like this. That's the perfect kebab. Oh, these are so delicious. And then I just keep doing this until I have a full tray of kebabs. Serve the kebabs with hot naan and raita. And that is how you make